What's up, guys? I'm Mike D'Antonio, founder and CEO of StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have an amazing episode for you guys here today. We're going to be talking about all of the top news that happened this weekend in the stock market, and then we're going to be sharing all the top stocks that we are watching for the week ahead. Make sure you watch to the end of this video. We have a $5.27 million options trade that we are watching for tomorrow. So there's a lot of exciting stuff to watch out for. A lot of big things happening in the stock market right now. The Dow fell over 700 points on Friday, and it really looks like we're going to have an actionable week ahead. So with that being said, if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe to see our daily videos on your YouTube homepage every single day. So with that being said, Tom, what happened over the weekend with the stock market?
Yeah, really, the whole stock market kind of tanked on Friday. And over the weekend, we had some crazy news come out about Facebook. A lot of different companies are going to be boycotting ads on Facebook with major advertisers like Verizon, Unilever, Coca-Cola, and Honda saying that they would all pull advertising from Facebook. And this is really just causing a big snowball effect of advertisers abandoning their site. And Facebook even came out and said, I really hope that you know by now that we do not make policy changes tied to revenue pressure. We set our policies based on principles rather than business interests. So really Facebook is coming out and saying that, look, you guys pulling advertising from us is not scaring us at all. And then at the same time, the companies pulling the advertising are saying, look, we don't need your advertising on Facebook's website. So really it's just both of these companies are so large that they're both just trying to influence the world in their own way right now.
Yeah, for sure. And we saw Facebook take a beating. I mean, they really dropped. I mean, from the Friday's close to Thursday's close, it fell over 8%, but it fell even lower in after hours. I mean,
it actually bounced right off of my support lines that I've had from these videos that we've been making. This has been on my chart for about a few weeks now, and it actually played right off of it on Friday to the downside. And like you said, in after hours, just kept tanking once it hit that support.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Facebook is really most likely going to drag the tech sector down. Like Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, even Amazon, those stocks have been leading the surge up of the market. They're all at record highs, or they all were at record highs this week. And they really took a beating on Friday, as did the market overall. And I think this big fall with tech is going to have a huge influence on the market overall. If tech keeps falling like it is, I really, really think that the market is also going to follow with that move, because tech is one of the main reasons the market rebounded as big as it did in the first place. So if we see tech continue to fall, we'll probably see the market continue to fall.
Yep, and we saw that on Friday. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. You know, even Apple fell pretty big, and I think there is going to be a huge opportunity with playing this to the downside. I don't want to, jump on anything yet. I'm not buying puts on Apple or anything right now, but futures aren't even open yet. Futures open in about 4.5 hours. So we'll see how futures open up, and we might have I'm betting we're having a bumpy ride down. I'm not thinking we're going to have a straight fall down like we did in late February and March. How the market was just down every single day and setting records for like the biggest point loss in a day. I don't think it's going to be like that, but I think it's going to be a bumpy ride. But as of how it's looking right now, we're approaching a major support level on the S&P 500, and the market overall looks like we're really starting to break through that. We're at like a major, what do you call it? Like an inflection point almost. And it looks like we're about to have a huge move. So either way, whether we move to the upside or the downside, as long as we have that, like the movement in general, we'll be more than okay, especially for a trading standpoint. We just need some movement. And I think we're definitely going to see that this week.
Yeah, and another thing that we're going to see this week that'll have some movement is Micron Technology is actually reporting earnings on Monday after the close, and they are the largest memory chip maker in the United States, and they're actually estimated to get $0.75 in profit per share on $5.26 billion in revenue. And like I said, they're the largest memory chip maker in the United States, and they also broke a short-term trend line that I have posted on my chart right here for you guys. Let me go ahead and get back to a 6-month daily chart here, and you can see that they actually did break this triangle that I've had posted to the downside. So if they do end up having bad earnings, you could definitely see this stock fall very well down, easily down to $40 levels over the next few months if they do have bad earnings and a bad outlook as well.
Right. And especially if the market overall is falling,
Yeah, and this is part of tech, so this will even drag the market down as well. Like you said, this will be very heavily correlated with the tech sector.
exactly. And look at AMD too. I really wanted to point that out. In like I think it was the last 30 minutes of close, AMD took a beating. Look at that chart, like that last red candle right there. Maybe zoom in for everyone to see.
Yeah, they went down about 3.5% at the end of the day. That's insane.
Yeah, look at that candle. Wow. Even it was even bleeding in after hours too. So the main story from this, guys, is look at tech is falling. Tech is heavily influenced the market to the upside. It'll most likely do the same thing to the downside. Tech's falling. The market probably overall is most likely going to continue to fall, especially if tech continues to fall. And then how about the coronavirus cases too?
Yeah, that's insane. There's actually been 10 million global cases right now. And I'll bring up the John Hopkins map really quick for everybody. You can see up here in the top left, 10 million total confirmed cases with over 2.5 million in the US. And I remember just a couple weeks ago, we were talking and the US had just crossed above 2 million and we already have 500,000 more confirmed cases within those past couple weeks.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I think they were doing more testing, but still, I would not doubt if the virus is spreading. It's horrible news and almost 500,000 global deaths. And Tom, can you go to the daily cases? When you scroll down to that chart thing, it's like, no. So like you see, yep, daily cases right there. Like,
oh yeah, it's just increasing steadily still.
Right. See, that's what worries me. I think they're doing more testing though, but either way, like it's not a good sign. And I know like even Florida and Texas are pausing their reopening phases. And, it's only logical to think if they're pausing their reopening phases, I bet these other cities are going to follow them too. Illinois, like New York, all these other top cities and just the rest of the states too. So, it's horrible news. And if these other states do, pause their reopening phases, I think that would probably be, I don't want to say like the nail in the coffin, but I think that would heavily influence the market to the downside.
Yeah, definitely. I think so too, especially with the way the virus has been going. And if everybody starts closing down all those retail stores again, you'll definitely see a lot more retail stores, I think, start to go under and file for bankruptcy, because I think all the ones that were just scraping by during the first part of the virus will definitely get hit harder during the second wave.
Exactly. And then if we do like have to pause reopening phases again, the government is going to be at a huge pressure to pass another like stimulus bill. Like how you said, like if we have to pause the reopening phases again, the businesses that were just like scraping by, they're really going to be hurt. So the government doesn't really want like a massive like foreclosure and bankruptcy spree. You know what I mean? So then they will have to issue another stimulus package and all these like PPP loans and all that, which will really just hurt the dollar more, like inflation, and that wouldn't be a good sign. So, there's some scary things to watch out for. Hopefully everything ends in the best way possible. Right now with the market falling, not looking too good. I think that was mainly driven by tech though. And then we do have Powell speaking again this week on Tuesday, June 30th. So he's testifying again. This most likely won't be a huge influence. Like, if Powell says something, anything that wasn't expected, of course, that can definitely influence the market. However, most likely, he's not expected to like say anything too crazy. He's just pretty much he's most likely going to say what he's been saying for the past couple weeks. So if he does say something unexpected, though, that can definitely influence the markets. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, expect him to say the outlook is unsure, because that's all he's been saying lately.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And with the member of the day. So, guys, we do a member of the day every single Stocks with Mike and Tom video. And pretty much to become the member of the day, join our Discord community. First link in the description down below. And we just give a quick little shout out to people who are being very positive and who are assets to the community. And with today's member of the day, we have Frank N. So thank you so much, Frank. Frank has been in the Discord community for a little bit now. He's a great guy, and I've talked to him one-on-one. Great guy. I'm very happy to have Frank in the community. So Thank you so much, Frank N. And now with the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs took a pretty big beating on Friday, down about almost 9%. So we're definitely looking for a possible continuation on Monday. Goldman Sachs can very well gap up, and in that case, we wouldn't trade it at all. However, if this stock does break the levels Tom is about to list, then we are looking for a continuation down. So, Tom, what levels should we be watching for Goldman Sachs?
I'd really watch for Goldman to break 188 on the dot. You could watch 188.50, but the way it's moving in after hours, I would watch 188 on the money.
Yep, so 188, if it breaks below that, we'll be looking at this in a bearish position, meaning buying puts or shorting the stock. Next, we have Crowd, CRWD.
Wow, yeah, this is really consolidating on this 1,000 SMA. Watch for it to break below 97.50, and if it does, watch for a significant run to the downside.
Absolutely, and then we have Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, of course, Facebook. Watch for them to break 212.
212, and then we have EXPE.
Yep, watch for them to break 77.
77. And then the last one, we have SNAP, Snapchat.
Snapchat, watch for them to go ahead and break 22.50. They were also having some after hours movement as well.
Yep. So we are looking for all of these stocks to break to the downside. If any of these stocks break below the levels we listed, we'll be looking at these stocks in a bearish sentiment, meaning buying puts or shorting the stock. So feel free to keep an eye on those. These normally work very well, but we only, we're only watching for these stocks if they break below the levels we list. If they don't, then we won't trade them. So now with the 5.27 million options trade for tomorrow, we're looking at Apple, and we're looking at the Apple 350 strike puts that expire this Friday, July 2nd. So these stocks, these options had a lot of money put into them. These options are very close to the money, and Apple's trending down pretty good. So I would not be surprised at all if they were buying these puts, meaning, so maybe keep an eye on Apple to the downside. Someone put about $5.27 million into the Apple 350 strike puts that expire this week, July 2nd. So I think it's pretty crazy. I'm not one to short Apple because they're the powerhouse. You know what I mean? Yes, they are at all-time highs and they might be a little bit overpriced right now. But you look at Apple's chart, and just by eyeing it out, a far majority of its days are green. Look at the chart. A lot of the candles are green. Apple does a lot of share buybacks. They are a great company overall, and they're just the powerhouse stock of the past couple of years. So keep an eye on them. I might be looking to short some different places, maybe value stocks or something like that. Maybe some other stocks, but I don't know if I'm the short Apple. Not sure yet. So keep in mind, I might even buy SPY puts. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Depends how futures opens up, but we'll see what happens. So now with the questions from the previous episode. So with the first question we have, let's see. First question we have Brad saying, thanks again for the continued great content and insights to the market, news, and trading. I look forward to the show every single day. I'm looking to get into some FANG and solid long-term stocks while the market dropping this week. Can you and Tom share how to know when to find the low buy point or show using technical data or charting to predict where to get in? Keep up the great work. So thank you so much for that comment, Brad. I'm sure a lot of other people have your same question. And, no one can catch the low. No one can catch the low. Just like Warren Buffett, he sold airlines way too early, at least looking back in hindsight. He even sold banking stocks too early, and this guy is one of the richest men in the world, and he's been in the market since he was a kid. So, as no one can catch the low, but we can use some major support levels and trend lines that can help us get a gauge of where that low might be. So I know he was talking specifically about FANG stocks, Tom. So, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. So these stocks are definitely some powerhouses, and you can really never go wrong buying into them. Especially if you're planning on holding for the long term, there's really no wrong time to get in. It's just a matter of how low you can get. So pretty much what I would do, I'll let Tom give his advice in a second, but what I would do is, we might see another dip in the market coming soon, right? I would just buy just a little bit at a time. I would maybe buy like, I don't know, maybe like a tenth of my intended position maybe this week, and then a couple weeks later buy another tenth, and just slowly dollar cost average in. Just buy as more time goes by. You're never going to catch the low, and it's really never a wrong time to get into these plays. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I really like that outlook, and I really like what you were saying, because it's almost like you were trying to say that you're waiting for the market to fall and then you're getting in at a discount. And a lot of long-term traders look at this as, whenever the market goes down, you're buying stocks at a discounted price, because
Right.
whenever you have these stocks that you're wanting to go long-term, you're going to be holding it for a few years, and you have to honestly hold them like 3 to 5 years if you're truly going to go in long-term. Even longer than that. Most people would hold 10 to 20 years on those, even maybe get into some IRAs with them.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you're getting in whenever there's discounts. So like, you could buy all these tech stocks up at the highs here, but the thing is that you might just have to hold for a couple more years before the price finally goes up above that very significantly, of course. But if you wait for big downturns, kind of like the coronavirus, you could have done what Mike said and bought a tenth of your position on this drop down. And if you would have done that, your average probably would have been in around like $160, maybe $170 a share. And then at that point, after it went up, then you could have made a solid 40%. And I really like that way of long-term trading. It's kind of what I do. My style of long-term trading is, I just like to wait for these big drops like this. And I'm someone who tries to find the low. So like, whenever the coronavirus was going down, I pretty much saw this 1,000 SMA, and I saw a whole bunch of stocks bouncing off of this 1,000 SMA. And I pretty much went in and put a whole bunch of money in right there at that 1,000. And I knew that I was getting into a whole bunch of really good value stocks at a good price. So you could see like Facebook dropped 25%. But at that point, like Bank of America had dropped like, I think like 40%, 50%. Intel had dropped even more than 25% as well. So it just depends on how much they drop as well. But the thing is that you're just getting in at a discounted price for the long term. And the thing is that a lot of long-term traders, especially new traders, they're thinking for the long term, but then they end up selling early. So if you are getting in for the long term, just make sure that you have your heart set on that stock and you are comfortable with holding it for a few years.
Right, exactly. With the next question, we have John saying, love your Discord. Thanks for breaking down the upcoming days on these videos as well. I was wondering what you guys think of LQD, investment grade corporate bonds, and your valuation on Ford. So LQD is one of those ETFs that the Fed has been buying up. So I definitely would not short them, but at the same time, the Fed said they are going to shift away from buying these ETFs, and they are instead going to buy individual corporate bonds. So they're going to kind of stray away from buying LQD. So at the same time, I would not buy calls on them or buy the stock either. You know what I mean? So we're kind of in a weird situation where, I'm not going to short something that the Federal Reserve has been buying with unlimited money, and then at the same time, I'm not going to buy something that they're no longer going to continue to buy, or like they're going to shift away from buying it. You know what I mean? So LQD is in one of those like weird situations for me right now where it's just kind of like a neutral play. And then Tom, what'd you think of Ford?
Yeah, Ford had some crazy news coming out. I heard some crazy news coming out about them. And then also, there's been some news with California as well. I heard something about California actually introduced some legislature that said that every vehicle has to be electric by like 2024.
I saw that. I don't know if it was just trucks or something.
Yeah, it said like trucks and semi trucks or something like that.
That would be crazy. I mean, I actually did see that news article. I didn't read it yet though, but that would be some pretty crazy news. And that at first thought you wouldn't think it'd be good for Ford, but it would be good for Nikola, which is NKLA, and then Tesla too.
And it could be good for Ford. It just depends on what kind of trucks they're talking about here, because Ford, obviously, they're getting into the electric F-150s, but I have a feeling that California means more of semi-trucks and trucks like for construction and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably. We'll see what happens. Next, we have Book saying, cool. By the way, analyst lifts the price target of TTD from $370 to $475. The trade desk is performing excellent in digital media. So TTD. TTD is the stock he's referring to. They are exploding and they're doing great. But if the market falls, this will most likely take a beating. We could see back in February and March when the market fell overall, this stock lost over 50% of its value in a month, so that's pretty crazy, but it more than recovered. So thank you for pointing that out. Let's see. Next stock we have, we have Dom saying, thank you for your, so Dom said, thank you for your outstanding chart work. I would like to nominate Hunter for a member of the day. He is always there and helpful. Moderators are people too. Absolutely. Hunter is a moderator in the Stocked Up Discord. He's a great guy, always helping people out. And, he's a great guy. He's been with us for a while. And, Hunter's a great guy, and he definitely knows his stuff. With the next question, we have Ronnie saying, loving the content. Question, I've seen unusual options be posted, and it'll say XYZ 50 calls for 182 near the bid. Can you break down that for me? Sorry if I explained this wrong. So, yeah, absolutely. So pretty much what Ronnie is saying is there's a lot of different types of unusual options activity out there. One of the formats would be something along the lines like this. Apple 300 strike puts for $1.82 near the bid. Pretty much what that means, Ronnie, is it's calling out the unusual options activity just like normal, but the part where it says near the bid generally dictates whether the long money, like the big money, is buying the play or shorting the play. So think about it if you were the big money, right? If you knew some crazy news with Apple, right, and you wanted to short and you wanted to buy puts on it, right? And let's say we're looking at like the 300 strike puts. If you really wanted to get in this play, you would buy the ask because you really want to get in. Some insider news, and you just want to get in the play, so you'd buy the ask. However, if it says near the bid, you might be shorting the play because Apple's going to go up, and you want to sell these puts for premium. So that's why you got your order filled near the bid because you just want to sell them. You know what I mean, Ronnie? So hopefully that answered your question, and great question. We have Jadov saying Spotify is going crazy, but look at Fastly, FSLY. Let's take a look. Wow.
I can't believe they continued up on Friday with the market being the way it was.
Right? Exactly. I mean, Fastly, if you guys don't know, Fastly is a stock that is outperforming Zoom. They are just exploding. Like that's crazy. That is crazy. I don't even know what to say about this. I mean, I wouldn't. For me, it's a little bit too high up already, but
I mean, they're up 25% over the past 3 trading days. That's just insane.
Yeah.
I would not get into this for the long term, you guys. This is going to be the type of play that definitely will come crashing down. And whether it comes crashing down or whether it just falls slightly back down to 65, it will definitely show its true colors on the chart and come back down eventually. It's just what the charts do. Keep in mind, stocks always do this. They did it with the big coronavirus crash whenever stocks were all hitting their highs, and then all stocks pretty much came down about 50%. So just keep in mind that stuff does happen in the markets, and these stocks that have been exploding since the virus, they definitely will come back down eventually.
Yeah, I think like you said, Fastly is really benefiting from the virus and the pandemic in general. They are right to be going up, but I don't think they are right to be going up as much as they are. You know what I mean? So I think like they definitely benefited from the pandemic. However, I think they're just a little bit too overextended right now. You know what I mean? I mean, this stock literally in the past, in the past 6 months, this stock went from lows of about $10 to highs of about $88. Like that's insane.
Yeah, you're talking 700%, guys. That's an insane number on a chart.
Crazy. With the last question we have, let's see. Last question we have David saying, hey, for the momentum plays, do you have the ability to state more about your confidence in how far out the put or call should be bought to expiry? I bought the Disney put today, and the second it dipped below 110, and it went back up. So I'm looking at a loss here, especially because it expires tomorrow. Thanks, guys. So David, pretty much the answer to that question is the momentum plays are meant to be day trades, right? Some people swing them and do very well with that. However, with that being said, generally, if they're day trades, you just want to get like the closest expiration, right? And sometimes you're going to have those fake outs where it breaks below the level that we list and it pops back up, because there's nothing ever guaranteed in trading. And, most of the time it's going to break through and just like slide right through that level. Sometimes it's going to bounce back up. But in terms of your expiry question, if you plan to day trade this, I would always get the closest expiration, unless it's like a Friday or something like that, then I go a week out, the next week. But if you want to play it safe, you can always get like the next week's expiration or, somewhere around that. So hopefully that answers your question. In terms of what strike price, I always recommend like the at the money expiration, at the money strike price with the closest expiration, especially if you're going to be day trading it. So hopefully that answers your question. So Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or anything to watch out for in the week ahead?
Yeah, definitely. The stock I'm going to be watching out for is LYFT. I love their stock on a 15-minute chart. You can just see constant bounces off the 100 SMA and then down, which is what we love to see. And they do have some solid momentum to the downside. And if we go to a 6-month chart, you can see I actually have a solid triangle drawn here on lift. And it actually could easily break that triangle. We could even draw a better triangle here. And then we're actually dropping right below that triangle as we speak and the 100 SMA. So I think we could definitely see a drop on lift this week, and I really like this play with puts.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't think they're going to be one of those plays that just drop to like, $25 this week, but I think it's definitely good to the downside. And I think I don't think it's going to be a slow mover, but I think it's going to be like a medium mover. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be a play that just explodes down like Facebook, and it's not going to be like one of those plays that take 10 years to play out. It's going to be like one of those like medium term ones, but I totally agree with you. It looks great.
Yeah, and if I had a certain target point this week, like Mike said, it's not going to explode way down. So for a good safe target this week, I would look for around $30.
Yeah, I could definitely say that's reasonable. I mean, let me take a look what the market makers are expecting right now. They're expecting right around $30. So that could be great. I see a lot of put buying in the weeklies for lift, so I think this could definitely be interesting. So I'll definitely keep an eye on that. And with that being said, guys, there's going to be a lot of exciting things in the market this week. You can look at the S&P 500. We're approaching a major support level. Stuff's about to get exciting for you options traders out there. If you guys survived the past 2 weeks, pat yourself on the back. You've survived probably the toughest 2 weeks for options traders because the market has been weird, uncertain, illogical. So if you survive this, huge, great job, and it's going to get a lot easier from here. The market is it looks like it's about to pick a direction. We have a major support level coming up. We have horrible news on the market overall, unfortunately, but for options traders, it'll be a good thing for us. So I look forward to a very exciting week ahead, guys. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe to see our daily videos on your YouTube homepage every single day. If you guys want to trade these same options that Tom and I trade every single day, click the Stocked Up Options Alerts link in the description down below. If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Tom and I really appreciate all of the support through the form of likes, comments, subscriptions, and sharing the channel lately. We gained 10,000 subscribers this month alone. So we're so grateful for you guys. You guys are the best, and we're excited for the week ahead. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. Other than that, thanks for watching.